This is The Scoop for Thursday.
I'm Lisa Marzilli with the WMNF News headlines. Citing parental rights, a Florida appeals court ruled yesterday that a law that can allow minors to have abortions without their parents' consent is unconstitutional. A three-judge panel of the 5th District Court of Appeal, backing arguments by Florida Attorney General James Utmeyer, said the law violates parents' due processing rights. The ruling came as the appeals court rejected a request by a 17-year-old girl to have an abortion without parental consent. The opinion is the latest in a series of legal and legislative decisions that have restricted abortion in Florida. Florida is set to carry out its 5th execution of the year tonight at Florida State Prison. 62-year-old Glenn Rogers is scheduled to die by lethal injection for the 1995 stabbing death near Tampa of Tina Marie Cribbs. Rogers was also sentenced to death in California for another woman's murder. Meanwhile, Governor Ron DeSantis signed another death warrant last week for 54-year-old Anthony Wainwright for the kidnapping, rape, and murder of Carmen Gayhart in 1994. Death penalty opponents will gather tonight from 5 to 6 p.m. on the northwest corner of Ulmerton Road and 49th Street North in Mid-Pinellas County for a vigil and peaceful protest ahead of tonight's execution. 2 more advocacy groups joined this week in a federal lawsuit against Florida's new law targeting citizen-led ballot initiatives. WMNF's Chris Young reports the organizations say the law is an attack on voters' rights.
The League of Women Voters of Florida and the League of United Latin American Citizens filed a motion to intervene on the lawsuit filed by Florida Decides Healthcare. Among other hurdles, the law shortens the time frame sponsors have to return signed petitions to supervisors of elections offices. Cecile Schoon is the co-president of the League of Women Voters of Florida.
Our legislators should listen to us directly, but if they don't, thank God, we were given our citizens' ballot initiative process, and right now the legislators have targeted that process to try to make it unreachable for the average citizen.
Republican lawmakers have argued that the new law reduces fraud. Last year, 4 of the 6 amendments on the ballot, including a constitutional right to abortion and the legalization of recreational marijuana, did not meet the 60% of votes needed to be put in the state constitution. Chris Young, WMNF News.
Personal injury attorney John Morgan says although recreational marijuana did not pass via ballot initiative last election cycle, he believes it will pass next time around. He says a new law will help. It prevents Governor Ron DeSantis from spending state dollars to combat ballot initiatives like he did last November. And Morgan says he thinks opinions about marijuana are changing among younger generations.
Old people voted against it. Every time an old guy dies, it gets chances get better and better and better and better and better. I hate to say it because I'm one of the old guys now. But every time one of us dies and a new baby's born, and look, it's going to happen someday.
The Florida legislature just passed a bill that makes that process more difficult by putting stricter requirements and deadlines on petition collectors. Governor Ron DeSantis is rejecting a request from the Florida House to speak at a hearing on property taxes. DeSantis said it takes leadership from lawmakers, not a hearing, to lower that tax.
No, I'm not going to go sit in front of a committee. That's not the role of the chief executive.
DeSantis and the House have been feuding over the unfinished budget and possible tax cuts. DeSantis supports property tax relief, while House Speaker Daniel Perez wants to make sales tax cuts this year. Perez did form a committee to look at putting a property tax reform measure on the 2026 ballot. DeSantis says that's not enough.
We have been talking about property taxes for many, many months. In fact, last year we were talking about how people's property taxes were going up.
Perez says the governor hasn't offered detailed plans to target the tax in a way that won't hurt local services. In weather, it's going to be sunny and warm with a high of 91 today. Overnight lows will be in the mid-70s, and the same forecast is on tap for Friday. I'm Lisa Marzilli with the WMNF News headlines.
This is The Scoop, recorded at WMNF Tampa.